Guys, welcome back. Today I'm coming to you from my inside cabin on Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, and today we're in Key West, which means you and I are going exploring. That's right, a very good morning from a very bright and sunny Key West in Florida. Today we are leaving Scarlet Lady to head ashore and explore where 25,000 people call home. Did you know that Key West is connected to mainland Florida using a series of road bridges, 42 bridges to be exact, which means there's 113 miles of concrete roadway linking this island all the way back to the mainland. Now, before we head back to the cabin to catch up on the plan for today, if you do find this video useful and if you enjoy it, it would be amazing if you'd join me for so many more in the future. All you have to do is jump down below and click subscribe. Okay, hi guys. So, as I say, we are now in Key West, and yeah, I'm really excited to get out of this cabin and to go ashore today because I was in Key West a few years ago and I really enjoyed it. Did you know, fun fact, that Key West is home to the most southern point in the whole of continental US? Now that means that to go from the southernmost point to Miami is 160 miles, but to drive from that point to Cuba, obviously you can't because there's water, but to go from there to Cuba is only 90 miles. So we're actually closer to Cuba than we are Miami, which I love that fact. Now, today is going to be relatively chilled, if I'm perfectly honest, because if you saw my last video, you'll know that I had a little bit of a late night last night and I'm tired. So what we're going to do today is we are going to head off the ship, check out the southernmost point in continental US, and then just have a wander about downtown before heading back to the ship. Now, if you are cruising to Key West, then you've got a whole array of shore excursions, which I think, to be honest, a lot of the American passengers probably are on excursions today because Key West, a lot of them, from speaking to them around the ship, have been here before, so downtown isn't anything new. But when I was last here, I just loved the vibe of the place, so yeah, I'm very excited to show you what it looks like out there. And on that note, let's head out of this cabin. Let's first of all go up to the top deck and have a look at Key West. And actually, one thing that I need to tell you before we leave this cabin is that I have just shot up and got breakfast at Virgin's version of a buffet. Now, I got Eggs Benedict, and genuinely, the Eggs Benedict that I've just eaten, will I say it? Yeah, well. They are the best Eggs Benedict that I have ever had on any cruise ship, including Cunard last week. So Cunard in my last vlog series performed really well on the front of the Eggs Benedict trial, but Virgin have just knocked it out the park this morning. I really enjoyed that. You get it from like a Mexican taco counter, so it's very different. It's like Eggs Benedict with a twist, but mega fan, so I'll be back up there same time tomorrow. But look, let me take you up to the top deck and show you around. One thing to mention before we head off of the ship today is that if you fancy a pool day here, you're probably going to have a pretty good chance of getting the perfect sun lounger. The pool was nice and quiet, but as you know, it was time for us to leave. Look at the view from the top of this ship. It is absolutely stunning. Now, the island of Key West isn't too large at all. In terms of length, you're talking about 4 miles or 6 kilometres, and it's about 1 mile or 2 kilometres wide. You would think that means that you stand minimal chance of getting lost. However, watch this space because even that sentence will make you laugh based on what you're about to see today. Anyway, let me talk to you up here really briefly, and then it's time to head off the ship and into Key West. Guys, check out this running track. Is this not just amazing? Loads of people always ask me, oh, do you find it difficult to get exercise in when you're on these ships? And with facilities like this, it's dead easy, because you can come up here, go for a few laps before your dinner, after your dinner, before you get ready for bed, when you first get up, any time of day. And the best thing about this is the way that Virgin have done it is there aren't any chairs up here, so you wouldn't ever come up here unless you were planning to exercise, which I am a big fan of, so Virgin, well done on that one. Now, anyway, plan for today. I'm a bit surprised because looking down onto Key West at the moment, it is so quiet. I remember visiting here. I mean, it was one of the first ever holidays that I came on my own, and it was wall-to-wall people all day, or at least it felt that way. I'll need to look back on my photos. Maybe this is, I hope it's not one of those things that post-pandemic it's just really, really quiet. But it's the very beginning of September, so I mean, I guess schools and things are back, but I didn't expect it to be this quiet. There's entire streets down there that have got nobody on it, which, yeah, feels a bit weird. But anyway, look, enough from me on this top deck, because as you know, I could talk for Britain and I could talk all day. So let's head down, get off the ship, and I will see all of you when we're properly in Key West.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky just to...
Guys, can we just talk for a minute about how close this ship is to the dock? I'm basically just standing, in the middle of the town right now, and the ship is close enough that I genuinely think, well, maybe I couldn't run and jump, but it's not that far off. This is amazing. Now, anyway, this southernmost point ain't gonna see itself, so I'm gonna take you, I think, to the other side of the island and hope for the best. Here we go.
We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again.
After walking for about 20 minutes after leaving the ship, I found myself here in this absolutely picture postcard perfect marina. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, one thing that I did notice on the right hand side of the marina was this, what looked like little white house. Now, I arrived in Key West on September 7th, 2023, which means I arrived 1 week after the passing of Jimmy Buffett. Now, this building is actually a Jimmy Buffett recording studio where he was known to record multiple tracks and multiple CDs. Now, what was absolutely amazing was to see the absolute outpouring of nothing but love outside this building. There were so many flower tributes, so many beads, so many toys, so many notes of just absolute dedication to the man. Now, growing up, I wasn't ever really exposed to the music of Jimmy Buffett, but one thing that you cannot deny just standing here today is that this one man has touched the lives of so many people, whether they be visitors to Key West or whether they be local residents who maybe knew him. You cannot help but take your hat off to him. Anyway, after checking out the recording studio, I went for another walk around the marina to gaze and gawk, to be honest, at some of the yachts that were on display here before heading back into the town, because as you know, we're currently heading for the southernmost point in the US. It was at this exact point, however, that I realised, unfortunately, I was completely lost. Right, ready for a laugh. There was me thinking, oh great, we're walking in the right direction. I'll just stop and ask this person where the southernmost point is. Anyway, she said, you are nowhere near. That's about 2 miles in the other direction. So while I've really enjoyed seeing what was up there, it turns out that the one thing I wanted to see today, we've walked the wrong way. So I'm now walking, equipped with a map that, yeah, this is the downside to cruising somewhere where you have no mobile data. So I'm equipped with this map and I'm hoping that if I go down here, I'm about to see the main road, and that is what will then take us to the buoy after about 2 miles. So right, buckle up, let's try again. One thing that I have fallen in love with since I started travelling is when I pass a church, I really like to pop in and to see what's going on inside. As a family growing up, we would always, when visiting a church or visiting a cathedral, we would pop in, light a candle in memory of those who were no longer with us, or just to say a prayer. So that's exactly what I was able to do in here. This is St. Paul's Episcopal Church on Key West, and this church actually, in terms of churches, is pretty modern. It dates back to the 1830s, and in here you can see such a nice mix of the traditional Key West architecture, the really old stained glass windows. It's just such a lovely, lovely place to spend a bit of time, and it's nice and cool, and it's got lots and lots of shade. Anyway, I know what you're thinking. Get back to it, we still haven't seen this southernmost point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a shop with it in the window, which would suggest to me that we're maybe starting to get close. Thank goodness, because I'm absolutely boiling by this stage. Now, Key West has always really impressed me from an architecture point of view. On this island alone, there's around 3,000 wooden buildings, and these date back from the period of around 1886 to 1912. Lots of these buildings that you can see we're passing here have got really deep covered front porches and beautiful window covers covering over the window to keep out the sun. Now, speaking of sun, one thing is clear, it's hot. Fast forward a good 30 minutes or so, and the resort that I'm now passing is called the Southernmost Beach Resort, and I'm hoping that means that the sign is close, because to also give you a bit of a feel for how nervous I'm getting, the current time is 3:30 and all aboard is 4:30. Now, I'm a very good walk away from the ship anyway. I'm hoping that just around this corner we'll get the marker, and then we can panic dash all the way back up the hill to Scarlet Lady, so please cross everything. Okay, so the southernmost point is behind us, thank goodness we found it. What I will say is that this is a chaotic tourist attraction because there is no form of a queue. Everybody just tries to jump in, and it's a bit mad. But do you know what? I'm delighted that we found it, and we can now say that together we've been to the southernmost point in the USA. So yeah, don't know about you, but I want to get back to the ship. Or well, I need to get back to the ship, so let's head back along to the main street, shoot up there as quick as we can, and I will see all of you back on board. That's right, we are so tight for time, but of course there's always going to be some time to stop and take a picture. Now, this is Margaritaville on Key West, and again, it was so lovely to see that this place was absolutely laden in tributes for Jimmy Buffett as well. Now, after checking them out, I was then delighted when I turned quite a few corners and finally found the ship. It's time to get on board, and I'll speak to all of you when we get into the cabin. I'm back, thank goodness, because that was cut a little bit closer than I would have liked. So there's a part downstairs on this ship that I really like. It's down at the gangway, and it's got the ship time versus the local time ashore. And yeah, that was showing 4:20 when I got back on, and all aboard was 4:30. So, I mean, thank goodness we're back. So anyway, I've just come back up to my room to try and just chill out for 10 minutes before I head out to hopefully see what should be a really beautiful sailaway, because we're docked so centrally today, as you know. Now, what I've got to eat, I really like this actually. So, well, in fact, do you know what? Before I talk about food, the orange Fanta is here. So, yeah, I think the orange Fanta is now featuring in every single vlog series, and I make no apologies because it's the most refreshing thing on a hot day. But anyway, so what I've grabbed, down at the pizza place on deck 7, you can order a pizza, obviously, or you can go in and just do like various grab and go items. So I have gone for a roasted chicken salad, which comes in this recyclable packet. So it says here, reusable container, do not trash me. So you basically just pop this outside your room or pop it on a table and they'll take it away. But let me just open it up and show you. Do you know what? For a pre-packaged salad, this looks excellent. So if I flick it round, this will mean the whole thing will go on the floor, but if I flick it round here, you can see there's actually a good amount of eating, considering that's just a grab and go item. So yeah, change days, eh? Usually I would go and order a pizza or order a plate of chips, but is this the start of the health kick? I hope not. Anyway, look, let me go and devour this, and then let's go and check out Sail Away from Key West.
Myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. This really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I seek what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening?
And just like that, we're now back out at sea. Now, that sail away tonight was absolutely perfect. I think I've seen, I don't even know how many sail aways I've seen this year, but I don't think I'll ever take them for granted, because that situation there, you're standing on top of this huge ship and it's 33 degrees, the sun is blazing in the sky, conditions are perfect, and somehow this thing is manoeuvred out of the harbour and back out into the ocean. It's just absolutely amazing every single time. Now, anyway, I am up on the top deck. I've just had a coffee because I need to make sure that I can stay awake for what's about to happen tonight. So I'll catch up with you on the plan for tonight when we get back down into the cabin, because I need to change, and yeah, there's a lot to talk about tonight. So I'll see you down there. Right, let's think about heading out for the night. So in terms of the plan for tonight, so this is the biggest night on board any Virgin cruise ship, and this is Scarlet Night. So Scarlet Night is essentially the huge party night on board, and this is what Virgin is now becoming infamous for. So think red all over the ship. I remember this from Valiant Lady, and it was remarkable. Even the corridors coming from the cabins turned red. It was so cool. Now, I was coming up there earlier, and there were already inflatable monster tentacles coming up through the roundabout, which was that main atrium section, so that was pretty cool. So hopefully we'll get out and I'll show you that tonight. Now, my plan, I'm dining at Pink Agave, which is the Mexican on board. Now, I've never managed to get in there before, so I'm looking forward to that tonight. Before that, I've got a show, so 6:30 is the first show of the night, so that's Dual Reality, and it's like a stunt dance performance, so that should be a lot of fun, and it should be really impressive. Now, I've got the show, I've then got dinner, I've then got just, well, Scarlet Night kicking off, and an event that I'm particularly looking forward to because it's so different to anything that I've seen on a cruise ship before. But rather than talk to you about that now, because I need to go to the show, I'm going to come back probably after dinner and talk to you. So please pray that I'm not going to get served tequila with my Mexican, or this might be about to get pretty interesting. But look, let's go to the show and I'll catch up with you after we eat. Here we go, we are now out the cabin and we are heading in to the Red Room, which is Virgin's answer to the onboard theatre. You can see here the room is set up with an audience on one side and an audience on my side. The whole show revolves around these little ribbons which everyone is given, and it's essentially a very, very modern take on Romeo and Juliet. Absolutely amazing, but I wasn't able to take any video footage for you. Anyway, that means it's time for all of us to now leave the theatre, and you and I are heading for dinner at Pink Agave. This is one of my absolute favourite restaurants, or as Virgin call them, eateries on board this ship. This is the upscale Mexican restaurant, and the food in here, honestly, is absolutely fantastic. What you're looking at now is just a quick scan of the menu, so please feel free to pause the video, rewind the video, have a look at the food on offer here, and let me know what you would go for. Maybe we even ordered exactly the same thing. Let me first of all show you the table I'm at. It's very rare that as a solo traveller I'm able to get a sea view. This table doesn't really count as having a full sea view, but I can see it over behind that other one. In terms of what I ordered, I can't remember what this first dish was. It was definitely fish and it tasted great. The second starter I had were these spiced potatoes, which were, oh my goodness, so spicy, but so good. And then I had this corn, which is one of the tastiest things I've ever had on a cruise, and I washed that down with, you guessed it, a cocktail. If you followed my other videos from this ship, you'll know that I had a pretty huge bar tab to work my way through. I then moved on to the beef steak, covered in cheese, which I've never had before, but again, it was so good. Now, in terms of polishing off your dinner, you can have any of these desserts here. Naturally, there was only one that I was ever going to go for, and that was the chocolate tacos. Anyway, that's dinner complete. I will see all of you back up in the cabin to talk about what lies ahead. Right, dinner done, and do you know what? In all the dinners I've eaten across all of the ships I've been on, that was probably one of the best. Everything that I had tonight was so tasty, I left like literally none of it. It was so good. Now, if you're planning to come on one of these ships, then make sure that if you are looking to dine at Pink Agave, get it booked as soon as you get onto the ship. I, this time around, basically as soon as I got on, came to my cabin and instantly booked all of my dinner reservations for the whole week. And I'm glad I did, because the majority of the good restaurants, like the really popular ones, are now totally sold out for the entire week. So yeah, make sure if you're coming on, you just book in ASAP. Now, let's talk about the rest of the night, because this is going to be so good. Now, tonight is Scarlet Night, and I am fully committing, so before anyone says this isn't red, I think it is, although at dinner someone said it was orange, but I'm going with red, and that's the story I'm going with, and I'm sticking with it. So yeah, I've got my red shirt on, and Scarlet Night tonight begins at 9 PM, so it's quite a late start, to be honest with you. And do you know when it finishes? 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it's going to be quite eventful. Now, in terms of the events that are taking place, I will be going to a performance, first of all, by the Diva, which is the on-board drag queen. So this is, I've never seen anything like this on a cruise ship before. So that is down in the Manor, which is the venue that I saw a comedian in yesterday. So it's like a 2-floored dance club performance venue. So the Diva is performing in there. That'll be followed by the pool party, which is meant to be incredible. So top deck, by the pool, in the pool. I don't really know, but this is where, so my last cruise on Valiant Lady was in Europe, and it just wasn't warm enough for a pool party, so I haven't seen any of this yet, so I can't wait. And then after the pool party, there's an after party that begins at midnight, so the after party is back down in the Manor, so where the Diva is performing. The manor then reopens at midnight and finishes at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, Scarlet Night is essentially, the way that it's dubbed, is a full ship activation. Now, that means that all the spaces that we are used to, so for example the roundabout, that main lobby, that's been transformed. If you look at other venues around the ship, which I'll try and include in my footage tonight, they've also been transformed, whether it's like inflatables that have been blown up or the whole decor of the rooms have changed. It's honestly, it's remarkable what they're able to do on a ship. So we were all ashore today, and when we've come back, the ship is like already, I'd say probably half transformed, because it's only, it's 8:30 at the moment, and the red around the ship hasn't quite happened yet. So yeah, I cannot wait for tonight. And do you know what? The rest of the ship is absolutely buzzing. So look, on that note, let's get out the room, because I think I mentioned yesterday I've got a $400 bar tab to work through, so time for a couple of drinks. I wonder if I can find a red themed drink that's not red wine. Not sure, watch this space. But let's go downstairs, check out my, I guess, first proper introduction to Scarlet Night. You might be thinking, what on earth is Scarlet Night? Now, I'm not going to give too much away, because I think part of the magic of this night is experiencing it firsthand for yourself. The build-up on the ship is amazing. Now, on Virgin's website, they claim that Scarlet Night is an immersive celebration of the fabled love between a mysterious goddess of the sea and a sailor that won her heart. Throughout the night, the whole ship is apparently transformed with a whole host of delights and epic experiences. Now, after the whole situation was kicked off down in the roundabout, I then took my one of, unfortunately, many cocktails into the Divas show, which was around the world. This show was really good. Naturally, I had another cocktail. Yes, I know, we're making progress on the old bar tab, and I found the whole show to just be really, really funny. Let me share a couple of clips with you now. And yes, I had another cocktail.
I pretend that I'm putting this letter in the bottle, alright? When you say, whoa, whoa, you're good at this, well done. Ooh, it's it. Thank you, Silas, thank you so much. You know,
it was time for me to, oh my goodness, head to the bar again. I'm a little bit worried about how I may be coming across in this video. Anyway, after the bar, I thought this was, for some reason, a good angle, who knows why. Anyway, I then headed straight up to the top deck, which is where Scarlet Night was about to get real. I could not believe the atmosphere up here. I can't turn the audio on for these clips because unfortunately it was all good, famous music that was playing, which means that YouTube's copyright restrictions will block the audio on the video, so you're going to have to imagine what that sounded like. However, you should be imagining big dance hits as loud as you could possibly imagine. Yes, there's another cocktail. And a pool party like nothing I've ever experienced before. What I loved about this is by definition thousands of people that are just living their best life. Nobody cared who else was watching. Nobody cared of what anyone else thought. If people wanted to go in the pool, they would go in the pool. If people didn't want to go to the pool, they wouldn't go to the pool. It was just whatever you want to do absolutely goes. And I have so much respect for Virgin for bringing something completely different to the ocean. Now what did I do? I hear you cry. Well, I obviously went to the bar. Oh dear, this bar tab has got a lot to answer for. Anyway, let me leave you with a couple of clips to show you what the rest of the pool party was like, and then I'll show you what happened downstairs after, which was the nightclub in the Manor, and then yes, I'll see you at the end of the night. Okay, you and I both knew, realistically, where the end of this video was going, and it's now the morning after the night before. So, Scarlet Night honestly is amazing in a hot climate. When I did this over in the UK, it was cold, the pool deck was closed, everyone was inside, and it was good fun, but it was nothing on what we experienced last night. That was round that pool deck was absolutely next level. Now, anyway, you can maybe tell by my voice that I have had a relatively late night. So last night I got to bed, I think around 2ish. So worth noting that if you are thinking of a Virgin cruise, the nightlife on here goes on pretty late into the night. But yeah, you could retire back to bed, but the after party didn't begin until midnight last night. So yeah, not too much chance of getting to sleep if you are anywhere near any of those venues on the ship. But look, where we are geographically now, so we've just docked at Bimini, which is the island in the Caribbean that Virgin have got their private beach club, so I cannot wait to go ashore, and I'm going to put a video together to show you the beach club at Bimini. But for now, from my cabin, I need to go and drink unlimited quantities of water. And I will see all of you hopefully in my next video. If you have enjoyed today, then it'd be brilliant if you would think about giving it a thumbs up, which you can do just below. And also, while you're there, if you'd like to join me on my journey this year, as I'm basically living back to back as a passenger on cruise ships, then you'd be more than welcome to do so by subscribing underneath too. But look, from Scarlet Lady here in Bimini, a very good, well, I usually say good night to you all, but it's the start of the day, so wherever you are in the world, have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers, guys. Bye. If you enjoyed this video today, did you know that you can become a member of my YouTube channel for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at some of the ships that I'm travelling on? If you're over on Patreon, then I would love to see you over there. All you have to do to join me on that community is just search www.patreon.com/Fraser at Sea. Both my YouTube memberships and my Patreon site lead directly to me getting on more cruise ships, and both offer a completely behind the scenes look at what's going on.